So today is May 23rd, and I'm going to see if in 90 days these Pela phone cases break down. They claim that they are compostable, which means they should break down within 90 days, and I'm just kind of curious to know if that will actually happen. So I want to see also how they compost and which is kind of like the best. So I have a compost tumbler I'm going to put a phone case in. I'm also going to put one in my garden beds, and I'm also going to bury one outside. So I'm going to go ahead and bury these and see which location breaks down the phone case the best.
So here's a side-by-side comparison between my old phone case and my new one. I've had the one on the left for about 2 years now, and I loved it so much that I bought the same phone case in the same color. You can see that there is a slight variation in the color between the one I've had for 2 years and the one I just bought, but honestly, it's not that bad for having them for 2 years. So what I did was I cut up my old one into 3 different pieces, and I was going to bury them in 3 different places. The first one I decided to bury in my tumbler. I tossed it in and I gave it a couple of spins to make sure it was good and well mixed in with other stuff that is in my compost. The other stuff that's in my compost are like garden vegetables and just like coffee grounds and stuff like that. So the second one I buried in our garden box that we have outside of our apartment, and we are growing some squash and some green peppers, and we're also growing some asparagus in our little garden. And after that, I just lightly covered it up with some dirt. I didn't want to pack it down too much because I just really wanted to see how it decomposed. So I lightly covered it up, and that was it for our second one. Okay, so on to the third and final and last location for the Pela phone case burials. Our apartment so nicely backs up to a nice large woods. It's really, really nice and really, really pretty, but I wanted to bury a phone case out there somewhere. So I kind of found a location where I would not forget where I buried it, because you never know, in 3 months you might forget. But anyway, I struggled to dig a hole, and my husband actually helped me out. You don't see it on camera, but he did. And I dug a hole about 6 inches deep, so I thought that would be deep enough for it to be able to decompose, but also not too deep so that I couldn't find it in 3 months. And then I marked the location with a stick, and that was it. And all I had to do was wait 3 months.
Several months later.
Hey guys, so today is the day. Today is Sunday, August 15th. So it is 3 months later after we buried the Pela phone case. So today we're actually gonna go check on it, and I'm really excited.
So the first location I went to check was actually our garden box in our backyard. So I went ahead and dug that up, and this is what I found.
Oh, I found it, no! It doesn't look like it's composting at all, okay. So this was kind of disappointing. I didn't know if it was going to decompose all the way because it says it's compostable, and obviously this isn't a compost bin, it's just a garden. But I guess I at least thought it would decompose at least a little bit. So that was kind of disappointing. So here it is. Here's a closer look up at it. It doesn't look like there was really any decomposing of really any kind at all. We're going to go check out the second location now. Sure. So it looks like, so my husband helped me dig, and it looks like, I think it's, yeah, it is right there, honey, you were right. Okay. So that's interesting. So again, with this one, it didn't decompose, but there does seem to be a little bit more breaking down of it. There's a lot more cracks, and there's mold even growing on this. So I think this one was starting to kind of decompose, it looks like, but obviously did not decompose fully. Once again, this isn't a compost, this is just outside, so I wasn't fully expecting it to decompose all the way, but I just thought, again, it'd be a little bit better than this. So let's go check out the compost now.
So this took us quite a bit to search through the compost. There was a lot in there. So we just took a rake and we dumped out the compost onto like a cardboard box, and then we just sifted through it. Again, it took us a while, but eventually we did find it.
So here it is. We did find it in the compost, and it's basically almost fully intact. Out of the 3, this one has decomposed probably the most. You can see that a little bit in this area. It has started decomposing. The point of composting, when something's compostable, it's supposed to break down within 90 days. I did shove a couple of 100% compostable mailers in the compost, and we cannot find any of those. The only little bit we can find is the peel-off white kind of thin strip on the top of the mailer. So that doesn't look like it's compostable, but the outer envelope of the completely 100% compostable envelope did decompose. So now I'm just going to rinse all of them off and see if we see any differences on how they decompose, which one decomposed better, what area. So I'm just going to rinse these off and then compare them side by side. So these are the phones. This is my phone case, and this is obviously my old phone case. This top one is the one that was buried in the woods. This middle one is the one that was buried in the garden, and then this bottom one was the one in the compost. So the one we put in the compost obviously is the one that looks the most degraded, and then the second one, it would be the one in the woods, looks the second most kind of, that composed the best. And then the middle one, the one that was planted in the garden, kind of really didn't decompose really at all. Honestly, I was kind of really disappointed because I think people like me who try to be a little bit more eco-conscious and eco-friendly, and we want an easy way to go about doing that. We look for products that are like this, that say they are 100% compostable. And the difference between compostable things and biodegradable things are that something that's compostable will completely break down within 90 days, and something that is biodegradable means it will break down basically eventually. That's the difference between the two terms. So for me personally, I don't really think that this should be considered 100% compostable because once again, the mailers that do market that they are 100% compostable, those did decompose within the 90 days. So on the bright side, it did start decomposing. At least when we put in the compost, it does look like it is decomposing. So on the bright side, that's really, really awesome because this compared to something that is 100% plastic, which takes, 400 plus years to decompose, this is a better option than that. As I said in some of my previous videos, I really love Pela when it comes to their customer service. I have had a phone case that broke within a day, and they sent me a brand new free one for absolutely free. Again, 100% love their customer service. And my husband actually had the idea of either taking a picture of these or sending one of them in or all of them in just to customer service at Pela just to see their thoughts or what they would say. But I definitely want to put maybe this one back into the compost bin to see how long it truly takes to break down. I'm guessing at this rate it might take a year if not two. So when I do make a video about how long it does take to compost these, or when I do hear back, if I hear back from Pela customer service, I will let you guys know in a future video, so stay tuned for that. But I think that is it, you guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something from it, and I hope you guys are all doing well. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.